This is a Rogue Media Network podcast. This is Central Texas Life with Ann Harder.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Central Texas Events, and a very big event in the life of the city of Waco is coming up very soon, March 1st. And I have Jeff Aresty here with me, who is kind of the founder of the Jacob De Cordova Society, which is a very new thing, started in January just about.
It's been very exciting. It came together very quickly, and the story of Jacob De Cordova is pretty exciting to tell, and here we are.
He is really the person that's credited with being the surveyor who platted out the city of Waco. If you want to find a Founders Day founder, it'd be Jacob.
Jacob worked with George Erath, hired him as the person who had really seen and surveyed quite a bit of this area, and then Jacob went out and cleared land titles, made the first official map of Texas back in 1849, which was very important for the entire state, and did so much more.
Yeah.
But he loved Waco.
He loved Waco. He called Waco my beautiful daughter, and Waco is about to celebrate 175 years. And that is coming up on March 1st. So there are some things planned. In this short period of time, this little society has pulled it together.
Well, we were lucky enough to speak with the city council and the mayor, and just this past week, they issued a proclamation declaring March 1st the actual day to celebrate the 175th anniversary of the founding of Waco. And
awesome.
So we'll be over at the Cambria Hotel, and one of the wonderful artists that Waco has, and there are so many incredible and talented creatives here in Waco. We were fortunate enough to meet with Roy De Romero, who has done quite a bit of work on telling the story of Jacob through his art.
Yeah, what kind of prompted his passion for that? Do you know?
The way he's described it to me is that as he grew up, he did not know anything about Jacob. Mm-hmm. And when he got to about age 50, he said he heard and learned about the story of Jacob De Cordova, and he became inspired to tell the story and to go to all the different places that Jacob had been to and had seen, which really gave Jacob the feeling of love for the city, and he started painting them, and beautiful paintings. So we reached out to Roy, and last year in October, we held an event at my next door neighbor's house, Linda Morris, and so many people showed up. I had no idea. Roy is known, and his paintings are loved. And so we had about 15 or so paintings around Linda's house, and the expression of love for the city and for Roy's work was pretty palpable. And so we're doing it again with a few more paintings at the Cambria Hotel.
This is an art reception that will be from 4 to 6 on the 1st.
On the 1st, and so
is this a free event, a ticketed event?
It's a free event. We have tickets so that we can actually get people involved in celebrating Waco's history.
Yeah.
One of the things that the city council and the mayor really want to celebrate is this incredible history that Waco has, and get that message out to the world. Really let people know what Jacob felt about this city.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. The history is wonderful. So let's emphasize that and get that story out. So we are going to create a way in which young people in particular, but certainly everybody who wants to participate as a member of the Jacob De Cordova Society, to become ambassadors and get the word out. And so we have a film in the making. We may have a play in the making, but it all depends upon the
music. I mean, there are lots of creatives have kind of glommed on. That's maybe not the right term, but really see the excitement in such a project, and want to be a part of it.
That's the neat part about this, is that for somebody like myself, my wife and I moved here only a couple of years ago. And so to get involved with a story, because we have a background that is similar in some respects to Jacob's background. And so I just started researching it, and then one thing led to another. But when we had this event at Linda's house and all the people who showed up, it was pretty clear that there was a love to tell that story and to really express a way to remember what Jacob did.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because he was so integral to the founding of Waco that in Waco, there's not a lot of Jacob De Cordova things around town. You know, there's Jacob's Ladder at Cameron Park. I'm not sure yet if that's really related to him or not. I mean, there's somebody that knows. But I know down in Wimberley, there is a natural formation, a well in the spring water called Jacob's Well, and they have honored him. That is for Jacob De Cordova.
In fact, we went to Wimberley in doing the film because the original gravestone that he was buried under, and then he was moved, and he and his wife, Rachel, were moved to the state cemetery. But the original gravestones were sort of lost and then found again. And now they're in a museum in Wimberley. And there's a Jacob De Cordova Street. There's a Rachel Street. And so we went there. And Wimberley really does celebrate his memory. And now's the chance for Waco to do the same.
Really? Yeah, we kind of need to get on board. But as you say, he was important to the entire state because of the millions of acres that he, was involved in.
Well, what happened was this area, Waco, of course, being the site of the Native American population that was here. And of course, the city itself is named after that original Native American population. Well, they knew this was a wonderful location on the Brazos River. It was a very fertile territory and so forth. So that was all there. Neil McLennan, owned a lot of property around this area. George Erath had surveyed the area back in, I believe it was around 1838. But some of the problems that occurred as Texas was becoming a state was that there were several different sources of land titles.
Right.
So nobody could get clear land title. And Jacob and his half-brother Phineas became experts in clearing title to land, which back in that time was a significant obstacle to overcome.
Yeah.
In addition to that, they surveyed the state. Jacob's family had been in the printing business, so he had one point, because he was a very sick man, today we would call it tuberculosis, and he lived with that his entire life.
Really?
But during some period of time in his life when he was in Philadelphia, he learned how to become a printer. And so printing became his innovative way to be able to not only print the first maps that he did of the state of Texas, but then once he began attracting people to come and buy land and give notes for lands and so forth, he was able to then publish a guidebook. He was able to publish newsletters so that immigrants who did come here based on his selling the state of Texas, they would have not only a reason to come, but they would have opportunity that they could explore.
Well, it's an open invitation for everyone to come and help celebrate the 175th anniversary of the founding of Waco at the Cambria Hotel, which is on University Park Drive, beautiful hotel. And there's going to be food and all kinds of wonderful music. Frank Exum, who is a wonderful classical guitarist, which I think is going to set such a beautiful tone with the wonderful artwork that we will be seeing there by Roy De Romero. And of course, it's an open invitation as well for people to join the Jacob De Cordova Society.
During the course of this year, one of the things that the City Council plans to do is to use the entire year as a celebratory year.
Oh, they need banners. They need, 175th. Corsicana did it. I mean, they had all kinds of things in that city celebrating their 175th, which was last year.
And we have a documentary that we are doing that will be premiered in October. We'll have a clip that we'll show. Now, this is pretty exciting because you're going back to a period of time in the 1840s where there's really not a lot of photographs or pictures. You're really going through a lot of...
Yeah, how do you do a visual documentary on that?
And the animation that is available today is
It's
so
awesome.
powerful.
It is awesome.
And we were fortunate enough to work with Ken Rogers, who is just retired from teaching filmmaking at McCallum High School in Austin, Texas, where he was a leading teacher in film for 17 years.
Mm-hmm.
And Ken had retired. I had done some work with him in Africa on filmmaking and teaching, and he agreed to do the film, and he began working with some of his former students. And we're even reaching out to students here because we would really like to get some of the students in Waco actively involved with the film. And now there's the possibility even of doing more than that with music and a play that will go along with it. So during this time that we'll get together at the Cambria, we'll be reaching out to the youth of the community
Mm-hmm.
and asking them to become active in ways to learn about the founding of Waco, its history, then hopefully inspire a desire to study the Waco history beyond the founding.
Oh, yeah. And the next day, the 2nd, is the big block party that Rogue Media is putting on. This is going to be at Southern Roots Brewery, and we'll have a presence there as well. Folks can learn more about the society at that time as well in the morning, I understand.
We'll be on the stage at 11:30. The proclamation will be read again. And Southern Roots Brewery has been kind enough
awesome.
to create a founder's beer for that particular day.
Okay.
So we will have the chance not only to celebrate again, but also reach out to the youth of the community to get them actively involved with our project.
You're not too recent a transplant to Texas. March 2nd is very important as well because it is Texas Independence Day. So here, Waco's founding is just butted up right next to Independence Day, which is really, it's great.
The convergence of the opportunities are just a gift.
Well, but my hat's off to you, and I have to thank you publicly for all you have done to help make this happen. I hear you have come to Waco recently and got interested in Jacob, really through your commonality in your religion, and have just really had the heart and the passion to see this come about. And I'm just thrilled to play a small part in all this.
Well, the neat part about this is that when you're new to a city and you get a chance to work on a project that so many people have had a heart in before I ever got here, and then the momentum really was already there, and it just stopped for a moment in time. We had all the issues of COVID and everybody, had to sort of take a step back. But then to see the passion reignited and be in the middle of it was a gift to myself, my wife, and our family. So that's pretty exciting. Our daughter is here. That's the reason we came here to be with our grandchildren. And,
she's a physician here, and as I say, those grandkids are a pretty powerful draw.
Absolutely.
But we're so glad that you came and are a part of preserving history. This part of Waco history is so important. Again, this is going to be on Friday, March 1st at the Cambria Hotel there on University Parks Drive, 4 to 6. You can, I guess, go to the Facebook page. There is a Jacob De Cordova Facebook page, and you can follow and get more information there as well. But yeah, it's going to be just the kickoff. I look at it as the kickoff of a year-long celebration of Waco.
This is a wonderful city. It has a lot to be proud of.
Yeah.
And this is a chance for the youth to really tell the story. That's really been the point of this all. As we are working with new technology and a lot of people are concerned about what the future holds, Jacob was a man that reached out and was very inclusive. He gave lots of land away to the public, to churches, to educational organizations. And he demonstrated by his actions that he wanted to bring a community together. And this is a chance to not only respect his contributions, but to reinvent those contributions in today's world.
Well, it's just a great way to honor him in all this. Thank you, Jeff, so much. And I hope to see you there. It's going to be a lot of fun. The 1st of March, Friday evening, 4 to 6 at the Cambria Hotel. Be there. And we'll see you again next time on Central Texas Events. Bye-bye.
Central Texas Life with Ann Harder is part of the Rogue Media family. Be sure to check out our other shows at roguemedianetwork.com. Please rate this show 5 stars on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, or anywhere you get your podcasts. Join us again soon for more Central Texas Life with Ann Harder. This has been a Rogue Media Network production.